I'm just starting out on a research project right now that we're really excited about. The goal here is to take a look at organizations that are getting a lot of work done these days, not by hiring employees and bringing them in-site, nor is it pure contract, where they're off-site, use them one time and they're gone. It's this middle ground that we're most interested in, and getting workers up to speed that aren't really within your organization. The idea that you could take employees that aren't real employees, but make them feel enough like real employees that they sort of work with their hearts and not just do the time, that they don't cheat and steal from you in terms of over-reporting how much time things took, that they make fewer errors, that they work with more quality, that the work they do has greater quality. The idea that you would be able to create that but not have to pay for it is a very interesting question. It's why that we're doing the research in the first place. One of the most interesting things that we found in a couple of the studies so far is something very counterintuitive about this. Most employees expect to join and get enculturated to the firm's values, and most firms seem to want to do that. They want to, in a sense, control people by inserting their values in there. The counterintuitive finding is that by starting by asking what the employees think, who they are when they're at their best, for example, what they're like when they work to their potential, for example, that somehow ignites a different, let's call it maybe a different employment relationship, or we might call it a different set of emotions. But in either case, this idea of the company cares about me, the company cares about my best self, is starting to make the employment relationship warmer, more relational, less transactional. And we think that that might be the root of why we could perhaps take transactional employees that are hired through e-lease, hire the one who did the lowest bid, but make them feel more like they're connected to the employer in an emotional way, let's say. The second interaction that we're going to try to look at here is the role of pay. And so the question isn't, can we get away with not paying people once we introduce some emotion into the game? The question is, what is that emotion worth in terms of what you would have to pay to get a certain level of quality, in terms of coding, for example, or integrity in terms of reporting on the actual hours that they worked? One of the questions in our minds is whether or not rote work, simple work that doesn't require a lot of sophistication, whether that would be affected by this emotional engagement or not. We did one study where we had students literally coding data, and we found that by allowing them to tell us who they were when they're at their best, they made fewer errors and were more likely to come back the next day. The theory would be, though, that we would have an even greater effect as the work became more sophisticated. For instance, if you took an article that was actually published and you had to take that and convert it into a pithy blog, that sort of sophistication you had to bring to that task might mean that bringing your heart to it would matter more. And so that's what we're out to test.